Hey guys, before I get into this next video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I suggest you do it right now so that way you'll be able to get notified, or at least click the bell to be notified every video that gets uploaded to this channel, so that way if you're interested in the Super Hero Squad Battle tournament, you'll be able to be notified about every video that gets uploaded about on my channel. And thank you, and remember, hello and welcome back to another episode of Super Hero Squad Battle Tournament. We got a big one today. Female Marvel superheroes. When it comes down to females, people always start to love them every now and then. But when it's when it's one-on-one against two different kinds, looks like things will be interesting. Two with two unique superpowers. The Invisible Woman, the female superhero of the Fantastic Four, and Storm, one of at least the toughest females of the X-Men. I am your host, Joe Flash 6.7, and it is my job to talk about their story, powers, weapons, and everything to find out who would win this battle. The Invisible Woman, who pretty much has always been the female fighter of the Fantastic Four. She originally started out as an ordinary girl named Sue Storm, which actually, by the way, in case if you don't know about his brother Johnny, is also Human Torch. She is also married to Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, and is actually kind of a little bit of good friends with Ben Grimm, the Thing. Back then, she was just known as Sue Storm, and as she did, her and his brother Johnny, and Ben and Reed, they were all informed to try to test out some space, to try to find out about how to save human life and all that stuff, until an explosion occurred, and it was all full of radiation and that stuff, and it broke loose of the windows, and it caught to Johnny, Sue, Ben, and Reed. As they were all knocked into the gravitation, which caused them to have a disease, they were all put to the hospital. But although they managed to survive, but the only thing that's wrong with it was it gave them the ability to have superpowers. As it did, Johnny Storm would be able to have the ability to be very hot and would be able to turn himself into fire. Ben Grimm was so heavy that he couldn't move, so he turned it up to be a monster. Reed Richards would turn out to be, that his head would be hurting, and he would turn out to have the ability to stretch. And Sue was actually felt sleepier than she ever did before, as she eventually had the ability to turn invisible. Sooner or later, the Fantastic Four found out about their powers, and soon they would have to, restore their own life, and would have to be a life that would completely change they would have to live a new life that would completely change their lives forever. As they did one time, they all saved the day and showed their powers that had the ability to save people's lives. But unfortunately, had to move to the Baxter building in order to stay to where nobody would try to interfere for them. As they did, they were able to be safe there and had to live there for a long time because of due to the fact so that way nobody will ever find out about them in public. As they did, Sue Storm became the Invisible Woman, as we all mentioned. She had the ability to throw some, invisible magic or something, and she has the ability to turn invisible. She could do all sorts of things, even could create a container force field, whatever, that could stop fire and almost nearly anything. Sue Storm is just that powerful. With that ability, Invisible Woman can almost nearly take out numbers of enemies. And thanks to her invisibility, she could at least try to sneak up on many opponents as she can before she becomes visible again. It's awesome how Invisible Woman uses these powers to save many people alive and take out crime for sure, along with the Fantastic Four. Storm, one of the most recent found members one of the most recent found female fighters of the X-Men, who has the ability to do many things. She could create storm with her own lightning, and could create tornadoes. Storm is just almost as tough as Thor is because she has the ability to control lightning from, making them into tornadoes and all that stuff. She's almost just as good as Thor is, but much more different. Storm is pretty much almost like you could say a goddess, sort of, with her own unique abilities. Fortunately, nobody knows about her name, so we can't really know for sure about what her name is. But we just at least know that Storm is at least one of the toughest female fighters that we've ever witnessed in Marvel history. Storm can create all sorts of powers using lightning, thunder, use the tornado wind thing, whatever, like Thor does. Pretty much, she's done many things. In fact, one time in Superhero Squad, when Thor lost his powers, she was able to replace Thor's adamantium factor, whatever that Thor uses for his lightning and all that stuff. Storm was able to give her assistance to many times, and pretty much recent times, Storm has been known to be, well, just about a goddess, I guess you could say. She's been able to take out a number of bad guys before, of course. But you better watch out, because when Storm's out with that lightning and that stuff, she's ready to pretty much strike at almost any moment now, and you do not mess with Storm. Alright, the two characters are set. Let's just go right ahead and put it into this debate. Because right now, it's time for a Superhero Squad battle! And of course, the rules are still plain and simple. The first character to get 10 points will win.
Invisible Woman. Stone.
Ready. Fight!
KO! Well, there wasn't a doubt that this fight was anything more simple and this wasn't gonna get anything easier. Storm may be the greatest, and maybe, I guess you could say, maybe one of the toughest members of the X-Men yet, and maybe the goddess in her own way, but somehow just wasn't enough to be able to take out the Invisible Woman. While in the matter of fact, she's good for that way, but not so much against from what she did in this battle. The Invisible Woman is at least a lot more tougher than everybody even thought she is. In fact, now that she's married to Reed Richards and Mr. Fantastic, she is at least starting to become almost as smart as he is. Invisible Woman is at least starting to understand all the other superheroes as much as Reed Richards does. So, Invisible Woman does at least know much about some of the other female fighters like Storm and Spider-Woman and quite a few other more too. So there probably wasn't a doubt that this whole thing would be any different. While Storm did at least have the thunder and lightning advantage, which was at least able to help her out a couple times, but it just wasn't enough to even stop the Invisible Woman. Thanks to her trust, both these women were able to fly a unique ability, but Invisible Woman does at least have the ability to fight while she's in the air, and at least shoot a bunch of invisible, well, magic, whatever. But thanks to her trustworthy super moves, it was just easily able to pick up just a lead of a victory. There was just no doubt that the Invisible Woman was really too tough in this match. As the Invisible Woman does at least have a lot of things. She has the invisible magic, the flight, the invisibility, but if we give her the invisibility, then that would be a little bit unfair. Storm may have taken out so many miserable bad guys with her own lightning ability to be almost as tough as Thor, but unfortunately just for this one, when she's up against Invisible Woman, it just wasn't able to be enough. While Invisible Woman is at least almost as smart as her husband is, she does at least understand about Storm and quite a few of the heroes, and as she did, she knew exactly what she needed to do in order to put Storm away. Well, it looks like Storm just found her own place in the clouds. This battle's winner is the Invisible Woman. And don't go away just yet, I'm about to reveal who the next two fighters is. And remember to leave a like or dislike in the video below. And at least, just at least hope that you liked it or disliked it. And just don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified about everything that gets uploaded on this YouTube channel. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and see who the next two fighters will be for the next episode.